Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Brother Sister Show, a family-owned and operated podcast where two siblings keep in touch by talking about movies. Sorry, I'm sick, so I'm trying not to I'm like, you know that one meme where that kid's like, it looks like he's like struggling really. What is that? How do you describe it?
He's about to implode. Like he's just holding in a cough and his veins are just popping in his forehead.
That's me throughout the entire intro. Of course, as soon as I started, a cough was in my throat. Yeah, my name is Livia. I'm joined with my brother Anthony, and we just, like I said, we just talk about movies. Even while, nobody has to call me brave, but I was sick. I guess I'm currently sick with a cold, but you know what? Bold. I got out of my deathbed, sat in this chair, changed. I forgot to change this. It was still on boof, so I changed it to woof because it's the power of the dog.
Fitting, honestly. Impressive that you were able to switch it like that back to back. Gotta say,
I'm a genius. That's just that's how my brain works. Even if I'm not severely sick, I shouldn't say that. I'm fine. I think I just had a cold for 2 days, so I'm fine.
Yeah, it's just going around. Wait, did we say what we're talking about?
The power of the dog. Yeah.
Okay. Just want to
breaking the double feature streak, but
it was fun while it lasted. We'll probably go back to it eventually.
Whatever comes out this week, I don't even know what comes out this week.
There's a lot of good stuff. Okay. Why are a lot of podcasts and critics giving their top 10s when the year isn't over?
I don't know. I don't get it. I think they just want to be the first to do it, is my guess.
That just seems dumb because then you look like a fool because you're just discounting The Matrix.
A lot of people said that they're waiting. Out of respect.
I feel like we should wait until the very last day. Let's do it.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing it the first episode of either that first Thursday, or we can just do another bonus one and release it New Year's Day.
That would be solid.
Cause I don't know the point of waiting until now, but whatever. Or not waiting until now, not waiting until later.
Right.
I also, to give some critics to cut them some slack, I think it is because of deadlines. I'm sure the editors, they don't keep that in mind. They're we need to have your top 10 out. So
I guess.
Yeah.
So is that all that's been happening?
Me being sick, yeah.
Fair enough.
Basically,
yeah. I was sick for a bit, but I'm just better, so I got over it real quick.
I got over it it happened on Sunday. What is it now? Tuesday? No, it's Wednesday.
I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. No, it's probably about the same time.
It is the sickest I've felt in a while, which made me scared because for obvious reasons. And that's the thing too, is I hate telling people that I'm feeling sick because instantly, oh my God.
Was everything okay?
Tested. Yeah. And you know what too? I had my booster scheduled for Sunday, but I had to change it because I was there's no way I'm going to be sick. And well, first of all, I'm not going to go while I'm sick because you shouldn't go to your booster appointment while you're sick.
Naturally.
Just in case. And second of all, I was I can't imagine how sick I feel right now and adding on the booster to it. Because I know a lot of people didn't have, I think people are saying they don't have reactions, or some people did. I already know I'm going to have a bad reaction, so there's no way I would add that.
Yeah.
But I'm getting mine. I guess a plug for getting your booster. I think I'm getting mine tomorrow. So.
Yeah, A&M opened up slots, just open shot time, so I got to start doing that now that the semester is winding down. That's all I've been a fiend. I've been watching so many movies. It's insane.
Well, let me check the talking points. I think we have a few things because I figured since you're an insane person, we talk about that most of it. So we always neglect talking points.
The first thing on our talking points thread is How To with John Wilson. Season 2 is out.
I saw the first episode.
That one's real estate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that one's a solid one. I think the second episode is my favorite of the two that have come out.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's not saying much because each one is amazing.
They're so good. He's such. I love him so much.
It's just so perfect, and I think I understand why I like it so much and why I resonate with it, is because I feel like his thought process is how my brain works a lot of the times, where
Same.
I'll latch on
just
an
like
idea,
one...
and then it's just chain links until it gets to. It's like loosely, you can kind of follow the threads and see where you end up. But
you need to watch a new. I showed Sebastian a new commentary YouTuber that I've been watching. You might recognize her from like TikTok. I know she's on YouTube, but her name's Ramdin. I don't think
I'm familiar.
Yeah, I showed one of her latest videos about Mr. Beast, and that's basically how, like, I think you should just watch the beginning of it. I'll try to remember to send it to you, because I told Sebastian, like, she's like if Bo Burnham made commentary videos, I think, because it's like it's so well done, just like visually, it's so well done. There's a lot of music breaks, and I think she makes her own music too. So it's really cool that like the music is really good. And I'm like, how do you get like such good royalty-free music that nobody else is using? And it's because she makes her own. And the last thing is because she kind of has the same like dialogue that I do, where I'm just like, and like just one sentence, like just one run on that just never ends is
right.
Her videos. But yeah, sorry. I also love that style, and I think you would like her because if you like that.
No, yeah, for sure. Please send that to me.
Okay.
And
I'll do it right now.
How To with John Wilson. If you haven't seen it, please watch it, because the entirety of season 1 is like such a perfect, like, I don't even know how to describe it, like a planet. It's like a planet,
and
it's just full circle.
It's so good. The season finale too is like one of the best I've seen in a while.
Yeah, don't disrespect Dave, but it is good.
Dave. Oh. It's like, who is Dave? The show Dave. Over it. No, I'm kidding. That's fine. All right, I sent you the video. What was the next one? We can skip this AV Club one. I just thought I wanted to be more in the like film industry, like what film Twitter is talking about. And I don't really know how much I have to say about this though, but I don't know if you saw that the AV Club, a very like a place that I get a lot of my articles and like source material from. They have a new editor-in-chief, and he's like, this publication was started in Chicago, but they had a Chicago and an LA office, and the new editor-in-chief like got on a Zoom call and was basically told the people in Chicago, hey, we're going to only have the LA office. I don't know if this is like a form of layoffs or anything, but he's basically like, we're just going to like because he's from LA, he was like, we're just going to get rid of the Chicago office. And you're invited to come and like join us at the LA office, but if you don't, you're fired, essentially, which I thought was really shitty.
Yeah, I this is the first I had heard of it when I saw you send that link, and I did some like diving, and just the whole, like, it's so stupid because I feel like even with some of the not indie movies, but like less, not blockbusters that are coming out, like Licorice Pizza, and like a lot of movies of that caliber are being only shown on like the coasts. And just like, it's just a weird thing that the film industry is being restricted there when obviously that's not where film lovers are solely located. It's just a weird thing. I get it because you're more likely to get people to show up to theaters and to have an audience there. It's just a weird thing.
Yeah, and to also not think that Chicago is a place that people wouldn't go to.
Exactly.
Or where like good films are, or, you know, like I don't know.
Just so restrictive for no reason.
Yeah, especially for a place that was started in Chicago. It feels very, it feels like a person because, and also this, having a new editor-in-chief doing this, I'm like, oh, they don't understand the company at all. Or they don't understand their people at all. Yeah, and it made me really sad. And yeah, I guess like what you're saying, like of course they like forced to move to LA. Cuz like I don't know. There's some places that are like, you know, we have showings in LA, New York, and Austin. And like that's nice to have, especially when I lived there. But yeah, it kind of sucks that people are like, if you're not living in those areas, then you don't have a rich film what's the word, like community. And living in a place like San Antonio, I think there's so much area for that to happen.
Oh, for sure.
But because we're not LA, I don't know if it will, you know. Yeah.
But
okay, what was the next one? Spider-Man? Oh no, you're
no. So it's like I've just been watching a lot of movies, like nonstop. So I might leave this one. I can talk about it a little bit.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the trailer though.
Yes, the Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse trailer. So, thoughts?
I'm a little confused about it.
Okay.
Because like, where does it take place? Because I saw that. Well, I think I'm only confused because I saw Sebastian explain to me a theory that he saw that it's not the Miles that we saw is not the Miles that we saw in the first movie.
That's interesting.
It's a different one from a different universe.
Just because he looks older?
Not that, but because of the room he was in is very different.
Oh.
If I'll try to find it. I can't remember if it was a TikTok or.
That would be pretty interesting.
But I think the only thing that turns me off from that is like, I don't know, multiverses, and like it's just really starting to weigh me down a little bit. I'm like, I don't understand it, and I can't. I want to have some faith in the new Spider-Man that it's gonna like explain it to me somehow, but I don't think it will, and I think I'm just gonna get even more confused. Yeah, I'm excited though. I'm very excited to see it. Yeah, I don't know.
I thought this trailer was fantastic. I don't really know Spider-Man 2099's or Oscar Isaac's character. I don't know his whole motive, why he's like upset or gonna be the villain, or like from the trailer it seems like he's going to be the villain because he's obviously fighting Miles.
I'm wondering if I even watched the trailer or just watched a clip of it because I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, they were like,
maybe I need to fully watch it. I'd only watched the scene where what's her face is in his room. Is that not the full trailer?
Yeah. I mean, there's like a fight sequence too where they're going through different.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. I think I just didn't know who that was.
Oh yeah, because I don't think he speaks, but it is Oscar Isaac's character. That was in the post-credit scene from Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a funny, like a bunch of funny comments I saw on Twitter about that scene where she's in his room. Oh. And she had her shoes on while on the bed. It's terrible.
Somebody was like, I think they said, it looked like it was one of those tweets that looked like it's going to give it like a really long explanation of something. And it just said like, I love how much in depth the writers are going on this because, you know, you can tell that Miles is an Afro-Latino because of the way that they, you know, model his face and his hair and whatever. I forgot exactly what they said about him. And for Gwen, she has her shoes on his bed, you know.
Yeah. That's just funny.
It's Gwen, right?
Yeah, Gwen Stacy.
Okay. Yeah.
And
then I guess we can do oh wait, sorry, are you still talking about Spider-Man?
No, I was gonna move on as well.
Okay, the last thing is I was gonna say we are a week out, so how do you feel?
Oh We really are like
Sebastian. Yeah, Sebastian. He said that to me today, I think, and I was like, "What? It's a week already?"
It feels surreal. I'm probably not later tonight, but tomorrow for sure. I'm gonna start watching all the live action Spider-Man movies.
Ooh.
And I am excited because a lot of this is like the most leaked movie of all time. I feel like because I said it on our Discord that the OST was leaked.
I thought it was a joke though because I couldn't listen to it wouldn't play, so I didn't know what you're talking about.
Oh, the link I sent?
Yeah, can you explain it? Or is it a spoiler?
Spoiler, but so skip like
go ahead like a minute.
Yeah, a minute.
Maybe.
Yeah, so the original soundtrack was leaked and track 19 has both Andrew Garfield's and Tobey Maguire's scores like meshed together.
Of course they're gonna be in it. I don't know why people are still speculating.
Yeah, I don't know.
And especially too, I saw somebody that when they bought their tickets, you probably saw this one too, that in the cast, like it was like on Fandango or something.
Oh yeah.
In the cast list, it said Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire. I mean, now at this point, I don't even care about that. I just want to know who else is like. I feel like there's gonna be more people. Like I just want to see is Kirsten Dunst gonna be there? You know, like I'm more concerned about that because if she shows up, I legitimately might be. I don't know. I'll be excited, but like, I don't know. Another thing too is I hope that they. I guess if we're saying our hopes and dreams for this movie, one thing I really do hope is that it's kind of like how they did for the Ghostbusters. And like, maybe I'm dumb, but I truly didn't expect whenever they showed them for them to be there. So I hope it's like in a spot that we're not expecting them to be, you know?
Yeah.
That I'm truly surprised by them where I'm like, oh shit, like who is that? But we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited for what we're going to do that day. I kind of want to film like a vlog thing.
Yeah. We definitely have to do something special. Yeah.
So I'm excited.
It's going to be a full ride. I'm excited. Thoroughly. And I'll be done with the semester. Like I'm done with the semester like that Monday.
I think you'll be heading to San Antonio, will you not? Like that day or the day after?
No. Not for a couple of days, but
okay.
It'll be exciting. Definitely right. Thrilled. But have you watched anything? We'll talk about.
I actually watched a lot because I've been sick. You don't want to do Spotify Wrapped?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're kind of talking about movies. I don't know if you wanted to talk about your Spotify Wrapped. My number one artist was Bo Burnham for Inside.
Oh, did you expect that?
Yeah, because there was a time during the summer where I was like working and I would just like have him playing, and I probably listened to like the album at least once a day, probably like.
I don't listen to
weeks.
I don't listen to music as much as I thought. My minutes listened were 10,803. Which I feel like is very low compared to everybody else. Yeah, probably. My number one was Kid Bloom. That's not surprising to me, but I feel like nobody's heard of them. But if you want to listen to my top genre is indie pop, and I feel like they go with that. I love them. They're my favorite band.
Fair enough.
All right, movies. I've been better about logging them. I just don't do reviews for them. I think the first one that I watched after the podcast was The Rocker because you mentioned that it was on Prime or something. Yeah. Solid movie. Love it. And then Shutter Island, which I've never seen before, and I liked it. I mean, I think it was fine.
I've never seen it either. I know the twist, but
I do too. But it didn't ruin it. Oh, jeez. It didn't ruin it as much as I thought it would because I when I first started it, I was like, how are they going to get to that? So I think you'd like it.
That's good.
I'd recommend it, I guess.
Stars. It saddens me that like kind of not ruins it, but I'm just like not motivated to watch movies that I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, same.
Because I'm just like, I already know. I can talk about it because I know the big thing.
Yeah. We only watched it because Sebastian picked it. And it was surprisingly wasn't too bad. 21 Jump Street, solid movie. The Santa Claus. I wanted to watch some, like, I think I watched 2 of them. I didn't put the second one, though. I just wanted to watch some stuff to give me the holiday spirit, you know. And that movie is fucked. That movie's so weird. Like, he just murdered somebody and he becomes Santa Claus. Okay. I watched both of the Princess Diaries movies because I was sick and I wanted something nice to watch. Looper, which I don't think I've fully seen before, but I really liked it. I'm surprised that I've never seen it.
I keep on seeing it on Netflix, and I'm just
you'll like it. You should watch it. It's
Solid.
from Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
You'll like it. If you like his movies, you'll like it.
There's a one he made right before Knives Out that he made. I've been wanting to watch.
Yeah, don't watch that one.
What?
Book of Henry?
Yeah.
I've heard really bad things about it, but I mean, you do you, I guess.
Oh. I was excited to...
I think we'll watch it. Don't fuck me. I don't know.
Oh, no, The Brothers Bloom.
Oh, with Adrian Brody?
Yeah, and Mark Ruffalo.
I saw it a long time ago, and I don't remember anything from it.
We'll see. I don't know.
Then I watched Ratatouille. I think I've like partially seen it, but this is my first full time seeing it, I think. Cute movie.
That's shocking.
Shrek the Third. Huh?
That's shocking that that's your first time like fully watching it.
I think so. Yeah, it's not one that I think about watching a lot. So another one that Sebastian was like, let's watch it. And I was like, okay. Shrek the Third, because, you know, I watched the first 2 this year, so I have to finish the trilogy. Not going beyond that, because I don't really want to do that to myself.
Only acknowledging the 3, making it.
Yeah, because I like the Shrek the Third. I didn't realize how it's pretty solid. Like, all 3 are pretty solid. And then they, you know, shit the bed. Okay, and then last 2, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off. Sebastian want to watch a DCOM. Disney Channel original movie for people that are not established.
I had no idea what that was.
And I've never seen this one before, and it's the weirdest fucking movie that I've ever seen. So
Really?
fucking weird. Honestly, if you lose Family Tree, you'll probably watch this because it was fucking strange. Ooh, it was a good wheeze for you there. And then I watched Hustlers today because
I saw
nothing better to do or nothing better to get me like out of my sick mode than watching J-Lo strip. So
I haven't seen that one yet, but
very good.
And then
I have one other one, but it's The Beach Bum.
Yeah, so we'll save that
for
the transition. Yeah. So I have watched like 25 feature movies since last recording, which is about a week. And it's just insane. So I won't go through all of them. I'll categorize some of them because it's a lot. So the first one that got me, December 1st, clock struck midnight, I watched Just Friends. Because that's like a quintessential Christmas movie. I think
I made Sebastian watch it for the first time last year.
It's perfect. It's where Ryan Reynolds like became that character and just never left. You know, so had to watch it. The next 3 movies are animated ones that I had, because I was like, I've been through a bunch of different moods. So when I watched these, I was like, I wanted to watch all like the hit 2021 movies, and these were all the animated ones. So it was Luca, Raya and the Last Dragon, and then the Mitchells versus the Machines. All very solid. I think I gave them all pretty high ratings.
Which is your favorite?
So my favorite was the Mitchells versus the Machines.
I've heard good things about that one.
Surprisingly really good. I mean, the plot kind of predictable, but I think the animation style extremely unique, and I hadn't seen something that made me think that since Into the Spiderverse. So highly recommend. Definitely recommend. Then I watched 2 of Wes Anderson's movies. I'm very close. I just need to finish the Darjeeling
Yeah,
Limited.
I feel like are you avoiding that one on purpose? Because that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So I watched The
fucking
World
love that movie.
Tenenbaums.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Ben Stiller isn't in all of his movies because he was fantastic.
I don't think I've fully seen that one.
I will say I didn't like it as much as I did until the end. I thought the ending was great. And just like the overall
I feel like I saw that
message.
movie on Tumblr too much. That's why I do want to watch it.
That does feel like a very Tumblr-ish movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then yesterday I watched Bottle Rocket, both the feature and the short film, which is his first feature. Which I'll also throw following in that like category of first with it's Christopher Nolan's first feature length film.
Mm-hmm.
Those two I have both on Criterion because they're like the first. I think it's super cool to see, as a film lover and like a fan of these two directors. It's really cool to see where they started and how their style developed into like the established directors that they are now. Highly recommend if you're a fan of either one of them. Like Bottle Rocket.
Think of? Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say Bottle Rocket isn't that good, but it's like it's very cool to see, like humble beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
What were you gonna say?
I always think about like, I don't know, it's like for somebody who it's hard for me to revisit or visit movies that were made like a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like Christopher Nolan. I like all these directors, but like, am I gonna watch their first films? Maybe, but probably not. But as somebody who likes a lot of indies, it's nice to like, or I like a lot of movies from directors that are just coming out. So it's cool that hopefully in the future, with like my kids, that I'll be like, oh, you like this movie from Ari Aster? Well, you don't even fucking know what you're talking about. Like to be like pretentious like that. We got to watch their first short film because I feel like that's where they really hit their stride.
Yeah, and the thing that Criterion does fantastic is just like they just curate perfect materials that pair with the movie. And the one thing that I really like is the essays that they have in little pamphlets. And for both of them, these movies, they talk about, like you said, it's the indie movies. They just funded it themselves. I think Wes Anderson and Owen Wilson asked their dads for money to like fund this movie. Mm-hmm. It's just really inspiring to see that. So highly recommend if you want to make movies to like read those and
just
watch them.
A fun gift for a film lover that I should have done for myself or for somebody is to like get a bunch of Criterion, which is very expensive, but do like an advent calendar for Criterion. I wonder if they do that. Probably not.
They should. It would be very expensive because each one's like $30-$40. Worth it though. Yeah. Very worth it because they have some good stuff. Very good stuff.
What I'm saying is that you can make your own.
Oh, I see what
if I remember next year, that's what I'll get you.
We should.
I won't remember.
Yeah. There's no way you're going to remember.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
That's expensive. Then this category, I'll give like indie. So What We Do in the Shadows. First time like fully watching it.
Masterpiece.
Absolutely loved it. That's probably my favorite from the ones that I've watched. Like the 20 that I watched because fantastic.
So good.
Then I watched Frank, which
I love that movie.
Michael Fassbender, probably my favorite performance of his. Just being a musician, like I feel like I've always wanted to be a musician, but this movie speaks to that, and I'm thankful for it. Then we have The Double, which is
I've never seen that one.
Which would pair well with Fight Club, I would say.
Okay, another one I've never seen.
You've never seen Fight Club?
Mm-mm. And I kind of never want to.
That's another one that I saw this, like since last time we recorded. Another good one. Then I took your suggestion to watch more Joe Swanberg movies, and I watched Win It All.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
That one's really good. I like the ending. Fantastic.
I forget about that one.
Yeah, that's great. We have the I finished Harry Potter. Rewatching those.
How long did you cry?
I only teared up this time during the Snape dream or memory sequence. That one I think will always get me in the heartstrings.
You know what always gets me? That's what one of my fun facts to Sebastian is, like, this line. I think the hardest I've ever cried while reading a book was when spoilers for Harry Potter, but when he goes like in the very when he's about to go and surrender himself to Voldemort, and he turns the stone and he sees his family, and when he asks them, will it hurt, I don't know why, but I fucking lost it. I could not, because I think that made me realize how it made me remember how young he was. She was a child,
17, 18.
Yeah. And just I don't know, that's he, I don't know. I that's such a good moment. I'd fuck the writer, but that's such a good writing moment,
Yeah.
Just a good. It made me I had to not even exaggerating. I remember this it was yesterday where I had to close the book and put it down for a second because I could not stop crying.
That's crazy.
And I told Sebastian too. We could talk about this more, I guess, if whenever we see the reunion. But I told him it was wild being a Harry Potter fan during this time, because it was kind of like Game of Thrones. And I do remember this, but it was kind of like Game of Thrones where we didn't know, whenever we were watching the movies, I think it was until the seventh one, not the seventh one, maybe the sixth one when the last book came out. I told him all the books weren't out yet whenever the movie started coming out. So nobody knew how it was going to end. It wasn't oh, I can't wait to see that. We didn't know until that. I don't know what movie kid was already out, but I don't think he knew that. He didn't know that we nobody knew how everything was supposed to end.
Yeah,
and I remember that day that we got the book, the very last book, Deathly Hallows.
Yeah.
Do you know that day? No, okay.
That's where I was diagnosed with asthma. In the ER hospital or whatever. You guys are all right, you're good? Peace.
We'll be back.
But yeah, it's a good rewatch because of the 20th anniversary special coming out.
It also makes me feel it makes me feel like the holidays are happening,
For sure. Yeah. Especially which one is it? Half-Blood Prince, which my very close second to being my favorite.
Mine's Prisoner of Azkaban, hands down.
Lame. Half-Blood Prince is very good. I wanted to talk about just moving on really quick. 2 very stupid movies that I watched: R.I.P.D. and then Observe and Report. I don't really have much to say. I just wanted to mention that I saw those.
Okay.
Both 1 stars. Terrible. Then I watched 2 silent films today. A Trip to the Moon, which is momentous for filmmaking, and The Passion of Joan of Arc, which seems, I don't know if you've seen those, but
does it look like I've seen those movies?
No, it is a hard watch though. I gotta say, it's my first feature-length silent film that I've watched. It was
miss me with that shit.
I appreciate the editing not the editing, the camera work, and the music. The sound was amazing. Finally, the last one I want to talk about is The Tomorrow War. So I know you haven't seen this one, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. We won't talk about it too much. I will say I heard a lot of good things about it when it came out. And
from who?
Just okay, so I know Mom liked it. And or not that it was good, that it was surprising that it was decent, because
okay,
just how it was marketed, just a cliche live, die, repeat movie.
Yeah.
But I was surprised at the beginning because I really liked it. And then there was like this moment where it just got really, really bad, really, really fast. And this movie, I will thank for inspiring me to want to adapt a book that I've been reading or that I read called Project Hail Mary. Because I feel like the beginning of Tomorrow War is very similar to the beginning of the book. As I won't give too much because the book is like, you got to read it.
Okay.
But I really want to adapt that book. It's the same writer as The Martian. And hopefully it doesn't get made because... No, I just want to see it. I would love to see an adaptation of that book because it would be fantastic.
Oh, you know what? One movie... Sorry, before I talk about Beach Bum. A movie I forgot to log. Sorry, were you done?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. A movie I forgot to log is Stuck on You. Have you seen the movie before?
No.
With Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear? No. I used to watch it all the time when I was younger. I don't know why. But they play conjoined twins. That's basically it. Like, one of them wants to be an actor. It's, like, fucking weird. It's so problematic. It's weird. So weird. But it's so... I don't know. I don't know why I liked it when I was younger. But I did. And I watched it all the time.
You should remake it.
That's what made me think of it, is I want to adapt it with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Oh. But how Ben Affleck's hair looked in The Last Duel.
That's funny.
Honestly, just those characters.
Have you seen The Last Duel?
No, I want to. Well, I wanted to, but for some reason I didn't the weekend it came out. But now that, what's his face is like... Well, now that I saw House of Gucci, because that's the same guy, right?
Ridley Scott, yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw that he was like saying that millennials who are in their fucking 40s are, you know, ruined his movie or whatever. No, I don't want to as much, but I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. It's just, I don't know where it's on.
I mean,
you can rent it somewhere.
If Adam Driver's in it, I'm gonna watch it. So
he's had a year. Okay, yeah, that's all the movies I want to talk about. There's a couple more.
Oh, The Beach Bum. Sorry. So to go into our game, I watched The Beach Bum. I was gonna take you up on your offer to watch that documentary, but I was like, no, I need to like stick to my word. And I was surprised about how many people liked it, and maybe I just didn't pay attention enough, but I truly didn't like it at all. I didn't see a point to it. Like, it just felt like it felt like it was trying to be like Zola, where not trying to be, it came before it, but it felt like one of those like weird adventure movies, right? Where a character just like stumbles its way through the plot, finds Zac Efron, you know, like as you do. But I just didn't, I was not the target audience for this. I didn't like it.
That's fair. I'm glad you watched it.
Did you see it?
No. No.
You never seen it?
Okay. Should
maybe I just was like annoyed that I had to watch it. I mean, maybe a lot of people liked it. When I was looking at Letterboxd, I was going to give it like, I think I gave it 2 stars. Mostly because it just couldn't capture my attention. But a lot of people really liked it. They were like, almost every review has said that this is Matthew McConaughey in his full form. I was like, yeah, that's probably why I don't. Honestly, what this past year of him has probably made me not like this movie. I mean, I know he's not running for governor anymore, but like for the fact that he even entertained it was really annoying to me. That's how I was like, who the fuck does he think he is?
That's how I felt about Observe and Report, which I just finished earlier today. Like, I was scrolling through and I kept on seeing like, you know, Seth Rogen in his final or whatever. Like, oh, this movie's underrated. But I just, like, this is bad. I don't like this.
I don't know. Some movies, that's one thing I think, you know, me and you talked about how, like, when we watched Last Night in Soho, and we were like, I can't believe I have such a finite opinion about how much I hate this movie.
Yeah.
And you know what I think it is? I think that we're just doing this podcast and seeing so many movies. Like, we know what we like. And we know that some movies we just, instead of, you know, being like, oh, I like it because it's Edgar Wright, or I like it because it's whatever, we're just like, no, it wasn't for me and I didn't like it.
Yeah,
I think that's just a signal of our taste being like refined. Sorry, go on.
Oh, we have refined taste.
Or not, not refined, but just okay. Go on.
No, I'm gonna go and go ahead and quote Livia and say that we have refined taste. If you guys don't like the movies that we like, your taste is shitty.
Then fuck you.
Yeah. No, it's just it's a good thing that we know what we like.
Yeah. Because I think I've seen that movie, and I think I don't remember having a strong opinion about it. I think I thought it was like fine, but I don't remember.
But yeah, that's one thing that I'm glad about. Like when I'm watching all these movies, I'm getting a lot of experience.
Yeah, and that's why you get so many. That's what people, their advice whenever you want to write a movie is to, or when you want to write something, right? Is to like if you want to write a book, we'll read a ton of books. Like you just start to catch things.
Yeah, I'm definitely picking up a lot.
Like there's so many. I think one of my friends, one thing that I loved that she told me, and I always remember it, is that she was excited when we said we were going to start a podcast. So this was a long time ago, because she said she always, every time she watches a movie that she's not sure of, she always makes sure to talk to me about it, because then she knows that I'll catch things that she would have never even thought about. I was like, oh, so nice. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I already have my person written down, so.
Let me write mine in the Discord. I've been doing that because I don't have pen and paper anymore. Okay.
Like a typical millennial.
I'm the reason that Last Duel didn't do well.
You piece of shit. Okay.
I honestly don't think I'm a millennial. Anyways, who's your person?
Either. Tom Holland.
Oh, okay. I chose Seth Rogen.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So, Tom Holland was in Spider-Man Far From Home with J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons was in Spider-Man with James Franco. Fuck James Franco, first of all.
Yes.
James Franco was in Pineapple Express with Seth Rogen.
Okay. I was going to go the James Franco way, but I was like, fuck James Franco. So, Seth Rogen was in Observe and Report.
Oh, God.
With Michael Pena.
Oh.
Who was, like, probably the best part, but who was in Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yeah.
With Paul Rudd, who was in Avengers Endgame with your boy Tom Holland.
That's solid.
We have a tie.
Okay. But do we want... I was going to say we could do another 5 minutes and try to get it down to 2 or 1 or 2. Or we can just ask the Discord.
Let's just ask the Discord.
Okay. Chambers show. Wait, what are we doing with that?
Guessing how old they are? I don't know who that is.
Oh, I can tell you. What is that Apprentice movie with Nicolas Cage? He's the guy with the annoying voice.
Oh, okay. The like nerdy guy.
His age. Ooh.
Okay, yeah.
This might be difficult.
Jay Baruchel?
Jay Baruchel? And he's in like How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
the voice, yeah.
Yeah. He's Hiccup, right?
What a strange shout out who said that, because I haven't heard his name in like so fucking long.
Yeah, shout out Ricardo for
a solid one. Okay.
If you had that just on your mind, like you just had him on your mind, I mean, more power to you.
Little disturbing. And if it's because of that Nicolas Cage movie,
that's even more impressive.
Very impressive.
All right, I have my guess.
I think mine's wrong, but okay. Ready? I say 38.
Oh, I said 35.
Okay.
I'll send it in the Discord just so you believe me.
I believe you.
All right, let's see. Wow. He is 39.
Fuck yes.
That is stupid.
So I wanted to first make you watch. I wanted to first make you watch that Eddie Millionaire movie, whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought of an even better one. You're going to watch a movie that's on Netflix, and it is called A Cinderella Story, Christmas Wish.
That's so stupid, but okay.
Christmas Wish. And then I think you will fully have watched every single one of the Christmas Story movies.
How many are there?
Oh, no,
there's
there's
6,
another
right?
one. There's another one that they took off of HBO.
I've seen 4 of them.
Yes. And this one it's like so fucking strange.
Wow.
It's so bad. Like even worse than the other ones because it's like so, I don't know, the way that they like do the whole like not being able to know who she is kind of thing is so fucking stupid in this movie. But I'm very excited for you to watch it.
I guess so.
And it's Christmas. You can't be mad at that.
All right. Well,
All
I'll
right.
watch that. I guess.
Ari's here
Well, let's
see
cut
your
to the
defeat.
break.
Okay. Say hi.
When we get back, the power of the dog.
A domineering rancher responds with mocking cruelty when his brother brings home a new wife and her son until the unexpected comes to pass in The Power of the Dog. Written and directed by Jane Campion, based on the novel by Thomas Savage, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Kirsten Dunst, and Jesse Plemons.
Critics gave it a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes, and on Letterboxd it has an average of a 3.8 stars.
Not high enough.
You gave it the full 5.
Yes, and I watched this movie and I was sick, so I was like, maybe I'm just like delirious, but I fucking love this movie. It felt like it brought me back from the dead at the very like last 5, not even, well, probably 5 minutes. I was like, hold up, huh? Like it was one of those where I kind of had to walk around the room and I was like, wait, what? I fucking love when movies, I don't know, there was such a like, people kept saying blink it, if you blink you'll miss it kind of thing, but it kind of felt like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where like if it's a movie, if you didn't pay attention fully throughout, or even just at the last moment, if you didn't pay attention, you'd be like, well, that was kind of boring. Holy shit. This movie, I'm never going to stop thinking about it. I think it's probably my favorite movie of the year. It was so fucking good.
I could see that, and I've heard that a lot. I've read it a lot on Twitter. Gotta say, first thing, that's like the only 5-star I've seen you give on Letterboxd. So, kind of surprised, because I think I gave it not that good. What did I give it? Like 3.5 or 4?
Yeah.
Maybe 4. I can't find it. But I think maybe I didn't pay attention enough. But when it finished, I had a similar, like, what the hell just happened? But then I like looked back and I was like, okay, fair. And then maybe we'll just need to get into it. I think I'll get a deeper appreciation for what this movie does when I hear from someone who absolutely loved it. So let's talk about it.
All right. Well, first, the first reason I knew I loved this movie is because I wanted to instantly look up like what other people were saying about it. Like in video essays, not a lot of people have made them about this yet, like watch interviews and stuff, but I haven't watched a lot of interviews yet, but even after this, I think I'm still going to, because I fucking loved this movie so much. But the first video I watched is a video by a YouTuber named Vegan Watching that explains that this movie is mostly about not just masculinity, but toxic masculinity. That's like the main theme of this movie.
Yeah, that I kind of got. I was like, I followed that thread.
Exactly. But she outlines like the 3 main types. My notes aren't really in order, so these kind of be out of like all over the place. But the first being about, I think it was George. So the guy, Jesse Plemons, the brother.
Yes.
He is like a kind man.
Mm-hmm.
Peter, I think is the youngest, is her son. he is, how would you describe him? He's like, I forgot how she described him, but he's a man who knows, like, he's not afraid to be who he is. You know, he's kind of just like,
he's confident.
Yeah, confident. A little too much. Like he's just very like he's very aware of himself, and he's comfortable with himself, his emotions. Like, you know, what you want a picture is like an ideal type of like man to be. Just in the way of like being, you know, okay with who they are and not really faltering for anybody else.
No, Livia thinks he is the ideal man in general.
Well, I'm saying like that's the idea. There's a lot of like I at least think there's a lot of different types of like, not only different types of masculinity, but different types of like ways that people agree or want masculinity to take place in like our society. So like George's masculinity is one that a lot of people favor, but it's not really like, it kind of falls under a more domineering masculinity, like his brother, I think Phil was his name, right? Mm-hmm. Where like he is the, you know, toxic masculinity. He's like the embodiment of that
machismo.
And so what I mean by Peter is he's kind of like the best of both worlds, where he's in touch with his emotions, but he can also be very like I don't know, like he has some sort of like both. He has a little bit of both is what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
Yeah, he's the middle ground where
exactly.
I feel like he doesn't really understand Peter, or he doesn't understand either of them. Like you say, he's like kind of stuck in the middle.
Exactly. But what I mean is like we see their masculinity for not only like how they present it, but how society like takes it in. Yeah. So this movie, I think it not only talks about, God, you should have a counter for how many times I say masculinity, but it not only shows like masculinity, but it shows the way that society, it like reflects back on society. And so when I say that Peter's the ideal type, I'm not saying for me, I'm saying for like how people want men to be. You know, they want them to be sensitive. They want them to be like into their own stuff, even if that means that he cuts up a fucking rabbit just so he can see his insides, you know, like, but he's into his career. He's the career man, you know, like he wants him to be protective of his mom, so he fucking murder somebody, you know, like it's kind of like it's a careful what you wish for kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then George and Phil are kind of the opposite ends of that, and it shows how both kind of like are at ends with each other and also like decay the environment around them equally. So just the way, I mean, if you want to, I'm not going to just like regurgitate what she said, but if you want to like see it for yourself, then just go watch the video. But watching her video made me realize why I didn't end up liking George the way that I thought I would. Because at the beginning, you know, he's very gentle. They even kind of show him in a good light where he like plays as a waiter for her, you know, whenever her son's away. Like he's gentle. He's a gentle soul. But him being a kind man is like at a fault towards Rose herself, because he doesn't ever correct his brother like at all. He never says anything. I mean, I think he says a couple things in private, but he never addresses. He only addresses the problems that Rose is having, but he never addresses the fact that Phil is the cause of them. And instead of making sure she's comfortable, he ignores the toxic environment that his brother's created, which I'm sure he's done all the time because he's used to that. He's used to his brother just like, I mean, he calls him Fatso throughout the entire thing. So like you can kind of imagine the way that he treats his brother all the time. But it reminds me of a quote from the comedian Daniel Sloss. I don't know if you know who that is. He has a really good comedy special. I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore, but it was. But he has I don't know if the entire set is not about this, but he has like, he's kind of one of those comedians where he tells like jokes throughout, obviously, but then there's kind of a really deep lesson that he's trying to teach people. And so he has a really profound set about how one of his childhood friends, a man, raped another one of his friends, a woman. And I don't know, it doesn't matter how long he's known her, but he knew this guy for like 8 years, I think. And how he blames himself for it. And so the quote, it's kind of long, so stay with me. But he says, "Don't make the same mistake I did for years, which was just sitting back and being like, well, I'm not part of the problem, therefore I must be part of the solution." Because that's just not how fucking shit works. I believe deep down, I know most men are good. Of course we are. But when 1 in 10 men are shit and the other 9 do nothing, they might as well not fucking be there. Being good on the inside counts for absolutely fuck all. You have to be actively good to get involved. Instead of having this fucking hero complex and being like, I'm going to beat up a rapist, fucking prevent one. Stop one, because I know it can be done, because I know how I fucking failed at it. Because if I'm being 100% honest with myself, were there signs of my friend's behavior over the years towards women that I ignored? The answer is yes. And then he raped my friend, and that's on me until the day I die. Talk to your fucking boys, get involved. And so that's like kind of a ways away from like what this story is about, but that's the first thing I thought about when I watched this video essay. Because it shows that just because George is, a kind man, and he doesn't really do anything, not that I can remember, doesn't do anything overtly bad throughout the movie, he still like makes room for this kind of environment that his brother is creating. And if in a movie about masculinity, that's like one of the top tier fucking things that especially like women, everybody, but especially women are talking about when they talk about like feminism and the way that toxic masculinity like decays our society, is that there's men that are not willing to do shit and they're not willing to get involved. And so George is such a huge example of that. And I just love that she kind of like, as soon as that clicked in my head so quickly, and I knew it was because the director did such a good job of bringing these real themes into a 1920s set, like a set that I would never think I could relate to. But I've been a Rose in many situations where the men around me, I have to be kind of like at the mercy of the men around me because they're the ones who are creating the environment that I live in. So yeah. Maybe that's why I like this movie more than you.
Yeah, I mean, George quite literally disappears for like the
exactly
second and like half of the third act. And there was one moment where I was like, where did he go?
I mean, that's the thing though. I think he really hates that's what's so fucked up. And what's so fucked about this is because he knows how shitty his brother is and how his brother is so fucking lonely that he wants everybody to feel it. And so he has to leave. And he doesn't take his wife with him because he's like, she can deal with it. I don't care.
You got
so
your
he's not
son.
that good of, yeah. Well, her son's not even there most of the time because he's off at school. But that's what I love, that one line where he says, it's just so nice not to be lonely. Something like that.
Yeah.
Whenever he got emotional. But thinking back on that line now, I was like, fuck you, dude. Because you made her so lonely. Like, sure, you're not lonely.
Yeah.
But she is miserable, and you do not give a shit.
Yeah, overall, it seems very shitty on George's part because here we have Kirsten Dunst, who's like living her life. May not be the best, but she has her son and she has like work. And he just like, I don't know, from the way the movie is, maybe it's just like the timeline. Like I wasn't entirely convinced by their relationship. Maybe it just like speaks to the time that just like relationships just happened and marriages happened like that. There was no like real love process. But just see, like he yoinked her from this place, left her at his like home where his like shitty ass brother was there all the time messing with her. And it's just overall George is not the greatest.
Truly. And I just love how like if you just summarize quickly what George did in this movie, because he's not in a lot of it and because some of the lines and some of the actions he does are so gentle and loving, he could be seen as a loving character, but he really isn't because he's neglectful.
Yeah. Even with his brother too at the end when he's dead and you find out how he died, he's like, oh, I don't know. I mean, he normally doesn't do that, but I guess he did. Like,
yeah, he knows something's wrong, but like, what is he gonna do about it? Because honestly, he's probably relieved.
Oh yeah, probably.
So, all right, a few more notes. That was mostly it, I think. Oh, I saw another video from. Oh no, I forgot. Oh, a YouTuber named Lucas Blue does another, like, I think an ending explained kind of thing about this movie, but he goes more in depth about, like, the movie overall.
Mm-hmm.
And he explains what the title of the movie comes from. And so it comes from, I think, the Bible, where there's a quote that says, "Deliver my soul from the sword, my darling from the power of the dog," which the YouTuber translates to "free my soul from the ways of the authority that trapped me. Save my soul from the power of my enemies." That's what it said.
Interesting. I didn't really get that part at the end when Peter's reading that verse.
So what he basically means, and this YouTuber explains it pretty well, was that what it comes from is, like, it obviously comes from that verse, but it also comes from that scene where Phil and Peter are looking at the mountains, and he sees the dog. And first of all, I didn't see it until the YouTuber pointed it out. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? But it was a shadow. Looks like a dog. And it's especially it's very symbolic because the only people that have ever seen it, because I think they make a point of showing that the other guys that work there don't see it and they don't ever see what he's looking at. But the only person that does is Peter. And I forgot it. Oh, what was his name? Bronco Henry.
How dare you forget his name?
Bronco Henry. The three of them are the only people that have ever seen it. And obviously Phil had I don't know if they ever spell it out, but he was Phil and Bronco Henry were having some sort of, like, romance together.
It was pretty clear.
Yeah.
Especially
well,
the
what I'm saying
scene.
is they never say it, like, fully. They have a lot of implications.
Yeah, very implicit.
Yeah. And so what I'm assuming is that all three of them, two of them, it's very clear what their sexuality was. One of them, as in Peter, they don't really ever explicitly or even, like, imply what his sexuality is. But I think it was very symbolic for Phil, who's very lonely, who's never had somebody that understands him after Bronco Henry died, to have somebody that can see the dog like him. And so I think he sees somebody that can be his maybe not an ally, but somebody that can be, like, fill that void that Bronco left behind.
Oh, for sure.
And the thing about, like, saving them from the power of the dog is the patriarchy, is what this YouTuber is saying. And, like, basically how men are supposed to be, and, like, how George, Phil, all the men in the movies or all the men in the movie are trying to, like, or how they relate to that. So, like, obviously Phil just, like, he knew who he wanted to be. He went a hard left direction. He went, like, opposite of what that was. He was hyper masculine. He kind of, like, overcompensated for who he probably wanted to be, and who he wanted to love. All these things that he wanted to do, he just went, like, the total opposite of that.
Wow. Okay.
Because
a lot of this is clicking.
He was fighting the patriarchy. Him and Bronco Henry were fighting it together. They were, like, they were
cuddling,
opposed from the power of the dog. And he also thought, and that you can kind of see it from that last scene with them two, with Peter and Phil, that was very oddly, like, sensual, that it was kind of, I think he thought it was going in that direction, where he thought he found how Bronco found him when he was probably way too young. Another conversation about how this Bronco guy probably groomed him, and how Phil's probably meant to do the same thing to Peter. And so he thinks, he has another partner to do this with, to, like, fight this, especially somebody like Peter, who was so opposite of anything that he has probably ever seen before. Some lanky kid that doesn't give a shit that he makes, flowers people make fun of, that he cries in front of people. He he is very passionate about what he's passionate about. You know, he has all these things that Phil probably envied, and that's probably why he went so like hard on like ragging on him, right? Because he was jealous. I'm sure we've all felt that, where somebody's doing something we want to do, so our obvious reaction is to not like them because we're like, fuck you, I want to be that, but I can't. Yeah. I'm scared. And what Lucas Blue like pointed out in the video is the turning point where Phil stops torturing him and Rose, and instead just like, you know, tortures Rose. But he sort of like leaves him alone after that scene where Peter's walking through just like that group of, you know how they're just all in that little camp area. Mm-hmm. He's walking through, they're all making fun of him, and he's still walking with his head held high. He doesn't give a shit about what they're saying. And I think that's when Phil was like, fuck, I wish I could be like that. And that's when he started to be like, you know what? I'll make you a rope. So.
Dang. Yeah. I wonder, so this is an enlightening discussion or point that you have made, because now it makes me think of the hides as more of a symbolic thing, where to me, like you're saying, like the whole, like the hides are his like role in the patriarchy and his like contribution, and the fact that and it's like kind of empty because he doesn't have any like real say in it. He's just doing it because that's what expected of him. Like what you were saying. And I thought it was weird that there was like no real purpose for the hides. Like he didn't want to sell them. Like he was just making them to make them, or to like stripping them and all that. But I mean, if we're under that assumption that it is, you know, his role in the in this society, it makes sense that there's like no real purpose, because he has no real stakes in it. His heart isn't in it, and ultimately he's upset that they're like given away, because I feel like he's exposed by the fact that it like has no real purpose. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just
no. I think that's right. And I mean, he just doesn't want somebody else to have what he has.
Right.
So, and also and I think Rose knew that. That's why she was like, fuck you. I'm giving them away. Yeah. Or I'm selling them. And I don't know. Yeah. It has to be some sort of extension of that. Or maybe of like, wasn't there hides around like Bronco's memorial? Like maybe he was more concerned about the hides.
That's true. Well, that makes me appreciate this movie a little bit more.
I'm also curious about, I want to watch it again because I'm curious about the rope thing. Because I understand, like, I don't understand what he was making it for exactly. And I think he's, like, never really got to the point where he could tell them, like, what he was going to use them for. But I'm sure there's some sort of symbol in that because of how Peter's dad killed himself with a rope. How he hung himself. And Peter's the one who took him down.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, because it feels like he was like trying to teach him, maybe groom him, like you were saying, but ultimately like, he wanted him to learn the ropes. Learn the ropes.
I didn't even think about that. That's good.
I didn't either. As I just kind
of that could be it. I don't know.
Well, the fact that this movie was able to have this, like, create this discussion, I think is an achievement in and of itself. But also, like, it was great. Beautifully shot, and the soundtrack was amazing.
So good. Another thing too. So I think I read an interview where they talked to the director about this movie, and one of the questions they asked is when she thinks that Peter decided he was going to kill Phil. Oh. And she says when he saw him burning his flowers. That's when he decided that he was going to do it.
That's pretty early on.
I know. I mean, what a mama's boy right there. You don't like this guy? All right, I'll kill him.
He's consider him dead.
And what honestly, a way to do it.
Very smart, and I mean, it shows how calculated he is.
Yeah.
Where he's like, all right, you're going to make me a rope? Well, you're going to die making me this rope.
And how fucking calculated the plot. I don't know. I wish I could be more, I wish I could have been more lucid and not as sick watching that ending. I don't know. It probably brought me more into lucidity because I was like, what the fuck? Like, as soon as like George went upstairs and he was sick, or he was like walking and he was sick, that's when it clicked for me. I was like, holy shit, he did something to him. Or at first I thought it was because of when he cut his hand when they were like with that rabbit.
Right. That's what I thought too.
And then yeah, it just snowballed perfectly. Oh, so fucking good.
Yeah, because I think at the end of this movie, I'm probably going to change to at least 4.5 because
it's so fucking good.
Like the fact that at the end of this movie, you realize that it's Peter who did it. And
he'd been planning it for so fucking long.
Yeah. And like he takes the gloves and he holds the rope and puts it under the bed. And for me, I just had like flashbacks to when, like earlier when Phil is washing the hide. And like that was like, it felt important, but I didn't know why. And just like seeing that, it just like flashbacks and the fact that.
And then when the guy asked him if he's going to use gloves and he was like, no.
Yeah.
What an idiot. And that's the thing too, is that he, I think that's the one of the things that the YouTuber pointed out, is that that's another way that his masculinity fucking got to him, because these other guys are using gloves because that's what you fucking do when you're dealing with animals like that. And that's what you were supposed to be using when you're dealing, or that's what Peter was wearing gloves all the time. Whenever they were riding out, he was wearing gloves all the time. And when he's washing hide, typically they should be wearing gloves. And the reason that I don't know, it's just so smart of Peter to like use his own hyper like toxic masculinity against him. He understands it so well that he knows how to operate within it, and he also knows how to weaponize it against them.
Kill them.
Yeah.
Well,
he plays the long game.
Oh, for sure. And he plays it well.
Truly.
He really does.
I can't wait to watch this movie again because it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I think that's what I put on my review is like
out.
I did not understand this as much. I think it benefits from a rewatch for sure.
Like I especially want to see that conversation that Rose had with him again, because I don't think I got anything from it, but I'm sure there's something that I missed. All right.
Yeah.
I have a couple of fun facts, unless you have something else.
Go for it. Knock it out.
All right. So first one is the funnest fact is that Jesse Plemons and Kirsten Dunst are a couple off screen. I'm sure people know that. And they have 2 sons together. Another fun fact. Huh?
I did not know that part.
Oh yeah, they just had their second one like last year. Kirsten Dunst and Benedict Cumberbatch were so into their characters that they did not speak to each other during filming. I think that's very funny. If there's any sort of like method thing I would ever do, I think it would be that. I think that's a good way to build like anxiety, especially if you don't know the actor. Like if she's never met him before, or have only met him a few times, then that's a really good way to like, you know, build that sort of like anxiety. Very smart move. To get into the character of Phil Burbank, Benedict Cumberbatch didn't wash for almost 2 weeks at the outset of the shoot. I'm sure the director was like, "Ooh, didn't ask you to do that."
You know, we can like fake all that, right?
Yeah,
like,
we can. We have fake dirt. The horses have been complaining. So he also has started. This is so fucking funny to me. Like, this is another thing of like, I feel like you're doing, or I'll say it. So he also started chain smoking. Although he had smoked in real life for years, he felt sick after each take when he smoked the rolled up cigarettes. He went so far with the chain smoking that he got nicotine poisoning 3 times. Another thing of like, this feels like a masculinity thing. You know, it feels like something you didn't have to do.
Yeah, I will say, like, it did feel like that was a majority of his screen time was just him rolling up
just
and smoking.
Oh, that's the thing that so Kirsten Dunst, I watched an interview with her where she said she learned how to play piano for this, and he learned how to not just roll up, like make your own cigarettes, but roll it up with one hand, because apparently that's hard to do.
Impressive.
Fun fact. All right, last one. Do you want to guess who? I don't know if you saw this already. Did you read this last one? Okay. Do you want to guess who was originally cast as George Burbank? I can give you a hint. And you won't guess it. So they had to drop out due to scheduling conflicts. George Burbank, who Jesse Plemons ended up playing.
Yeah. Chris
so
Evans.
They dropped out due to that'd be funny. Scheduling conflicts, but he is because he wanted to star in a new superhero film. That's what I'll say.
Simu.
No. Paul Dano.
Oh.
Had to drop out for the Batman. I think that would have been really good.
That would have been good.
He would have been very good. But I would have been sad because I was already sad that Jesse Plemons wasn't in it enough because he was gone all the fucking time.
Yeah. Oh, also fun fact. Jesse Plemons is in Observe and Report.
Was he really?
He plays...
So have you've seen Game Night, right?
Yeah.
I saw this one. You know that part where they're drinking like tea outside of their car and they're like standing next to each other?
Oh yeah.
Somebody put that quote of like, how is that profitable for Frito-Lay?
How is that fiscally responsible?
For Frito-Lay.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny. I need to watch that movie again. I love that movie. That's it. Love this movie. I think it's my favorite of the year. Oh, another thing. I saw people were saying, apparently a common critique about this movie is that they think that Benedict Cumberbatch was miscast.
Oh, okay.
What?
I saw that, but I also saw that like that was one of its like strengths was that he was miscast. Like it's perfect for the role. I don't really understand that.
I don't understand that at all. Who else would you want to cast? I mean, I guess because he's mean. I don't know. Do people not see The Imitation Game? Like he's a good actor. Like what? I don't know. Okay. I guess like him being in Doctor Strange movies. I guess I can understand the like. Why would you hire him?
I guess I get that. I don't get that as a critique. Now I kind of understand what they mean. Like it was intentional that he was like miscast, because like he's. I don't know. I don't
get it. I mean, maybe I need to look more into it, but I don't get it. The only thing I hope for, I don't know if this movie will get nominated for a ton, but I hope at least Best Directing and Best Actor for him.
Yeah, I think that would make sense.
Yeah, solid movie. Loved it.
Solid movie. I definitely got a better understanding of it, and I think I appreciate it more.
Great. I'm excited.
It will probably make the top 10.
Oh, it's
for 2020.
I mean, it's probably my number one. Unless Spider-Man's like mind-blowing. I don't know if I think my number one right now is Pig, so I don't know if Spider-Man's my kind of
Dune's
thing.
number one for me.
I think Dune's number 2 right now, but it's gotta go down. Sorry.
Why haven't people put is it just because it's like technically a special, but Bo Burnham's inside?
Because
like that's number 1 for me, without a doubt, and that's what I have on my 2021 ranked.
Even then, if I include it, I don't know if it would be number 1 for me.
Oh.
Maybe number 3, because I loved Pig a lot.
I need to watch Pig. I'm behind on that.
Very good. All right.
Solid episode. Thanks for listening. Time. I know, it's just every episode keeps on getting more and more solid.
I'd say so. Sorry that I coughed a lot. Can't help it.
It's good. I'll probably edit it out quite a bit.
Okay. Keep one in there.
One, the loudest. Or I'll take them out from one part and
put it all at the end.
Yeah, put it all at the end. Like
that would
30
be
seconds.
That would actually be kind of funny.
Okay.
I kind of want you to do that.
I'll probably do that. I was either gonna do like consecutive or just like really, really loud all together, like synchronously, like.
No, like consecutive. Like you know how people did that. What's that guy's name? Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that'll be the outro then.
Okay.
BrotherSisterShow.com. You can see everything there. Goodbye.
See ya. It's coughing directly into mic. I'm sorry.